All right, Coach Kerr, we'll let Coach open with a statement, and then we'll take questions from the writers.
Yeah, obviously BG played a great game tonight. All the credit in the world goes to them and their coaching staff. They came out and played a great first half. Thought we responded in the second half, but it was too big a hole to make up. And, we had our opportunity to kind of get it to a one-score game there, and didn't. And then, they just kept making plays when they had to. So I give them a ton of credit. Really proud of my team, the way that they came back and played and fought in the second half. There was never any quit in them. And it's a credit to these seniors and everybody on the team. There was never a flinch in them. So I'm really proud of that. So with that, we'll open it up for questions.
Rod, as far as your defense is concerned, what happened today that perhaps maybe you didn't expect from Bowling Green and Matt Johnson and Byer and the rest of their group?
No, there wasn't anything X and O-wise, I don't think, that we hadn't seen. I know that we hadn't seen. They executed it a little bit better than we defended it. And we had a couple mistakes in there. And then we made some coaching adjustments to kind of handle it. And then, it was probably just a little too late.
Jordan, is there anything Bowling Green's defense did particularly well tonight?
Yeah, they did. They had a good, game plan coming into the game. They, they were fast, they were physical, and they had a few turnovers. And it was wanted to out there. Their defense wanted it, and they did a good job.
Jordan, did you notice that they were sort of spying you? I mean, I guess the conventional thought process is that if they take you out of the game, they have a chance to beat Northern Illinois.
I wouldn't say necessarily they were spying us. There's a few quarterback runs that were, wide open, and they took the jet guy instead of me. So I wouldn't say they were spying me. I just think they had a good game plan going into the game, and we didn't execute. But all the credit goes to them.
Overall, how tough is this to take? I mean, you guys have come this far undefeated, and we're looking at a big bowl game.
Yeah, it's tough. We don't like to lose, and like I said, all the credit goes to BG.
Coach, what allowed them to play so well?
Hold on up here.
What was the feeling in the locker room? What did you guys talk about and kind of when you noticed?
When, after, or halftime, or when?
Well, both, actually.
Halftime, we just knew that we hadn't played our best half, and the guys were all locked in, and we talked about the adjustments we were going to do. We went out and we did them, and went down and scored the first drive. So, and then got them to miss a field goal. So I think it was a pretty good halftime. Then afterwards, I just told them I'm proud of them. I mean, this team has accomplished a lot. This game doesn't define us. One game doesn't define a season in any way, shape, or form. And we're not going to let it. We got another game yet. Don't know where that is yet, but we do have another game. And still got a lot to play for. Someone told me, I don't think we've ever had 13 wins in a season, so we can go ahead and obtain that, which is a big deal. I mean, so that's what I told them.
Did you see number 5 as being a big playmaker coming into this game? Because their first 3 drives, he made huge plays.
Yeah, listen, they're a good football team. I think 5, I think 9. They're running back. Obviously Matt Johnson made a bunch of good plays today. So they're just a good football team. And, I'm not shocked they were making plays.
Coach, how do you avoid letting it be a letdown for your program to go from a BCS bowl to whatever you end up playing in?
Oh, listen, part of it you got to deal with. I mean, you don't want to put it away and say, hey, listen, boys, pick it up, let's go. I mean, it's going to hurt a little bit but you got to deal with it, and then you got to move on. You can't linger in it, and that's what, I told the guys, and I'm going to keep telling them that, listen, we're going to move forward.
Jimmy, on your side of the ball, what were you seeing from them that you couldn't stop Matt Johnson and those guys today?
I feel like, the quarterback, he had a great game. Couple wheel routes, pipe routes, a couple bus coverages on our behalf, but I'm not taking any credit away from Bowling Green. They had a great game. They wanted it more.
As far as the scheme was concerned for you guys, I mean, there are a couple of those plays. Their receivers were wide open. Especially on the first and second ones, what happened there?
Man, like I said, it was a couple of bus coverages, man. Bad communication. We got to do better.
Coach Kerr, were you surprised? I mean, talking about bus coverage, it's not something we've really seen from the team that much all this year.
Well, I mean, you're always surprised to see something like that, but you know, the funny thing about playing defense is this, Shannon, is that you can have a busted coverage. We've had busted coverages before this year, and the quarterback doesn't see him, so he doesn't throw it to him, throws him to a guy that's covered, and you know, we just live and move on. But you still make the correction. So you give them a lot of credit. They, you know, their quarterback found it when we did have a bust here and there, and it's not like we were busting all day. I mean, he made some tight window throws too, so give them credit.
Jamal, with how they were running the ball, how effective was their play action tonight?
I think the run game opened up everything. For the most part, I think we shut it down for the most part. But once they got it going a little bit, it opened up everything, the play action, and like I said, everything else. So I give them all the credit.
Coach, in the first half, you got the ball about 5 or 6 minutes ago, and it's pretty obvious they were scoring pretty fast. Any idea about, hey, let's just run it with Stingley a little while and see if we can move the ball and take some time off?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, there's always that thought, but you're just trying to get first downs and stay within your offense is what you're trying to do. And the end of that half was kind of crazy. You know, we had a turnover, or we caused a turnover, so we felt like we had a good chance to score and, you know, get that thing well within striking distance. And then we, you know, the end made a great play, jumped up, made a pick, and then they were able to get down and get that score. So, no, I didn't give that much thought. What I did was, you know, we wanted to score. You know, in games like that, when it's going back and forth, trying to score.
Rod, what were the reasons behind Sims's attempted 58-yarder, and you obviously made a 51-yarder?
Well, you just said it. I mean, he made a 51-yarder with room to spare, and in a game like that, points are critical. And so, I've said it all the time. I got a ton of confidence in Simsy. Especially seeing him hit the 51-yarder, so it was, get him out there again. Let's do it.
Jordan, do you think the distractions of the BCS game played a factor at all in the preparation this week?
No, not at all. You know, we never talk about the BCS around the Jordan Center back at home, and you know, it's nothing like that. It's just, you know, we came out, we're kind of flat, and, you know, before we know it, you know, they're up by 10 points, and they're up by 17 points, and, you know, never really, you know, gotten, just talking about offense, never really gotten that rhythm. You know, we got down there, then we killed ourselves with a penalty, or, you know, my 2 interceptions definitely didn't help.
Coach, why didn't Duran play tonight?
You know, we tried to get him healthy the whole time. You know, he's a little bumped and bruised, and it was a game time decision. Took him out, warmed him up, and just, you know, couldn't go. He's got a little hamstring, and those things can be touchy, so it just wouldn't have been smart for him to go.
Rod, the onside kick, is that something that you knew you were going to do, or just kind of a feel thing at that point?
Oh, no, we had practiced it all week. Yeah, I mean, we knew we had a look in there where we could get it, and sometimes in games those situations don't present themselves, but in this game it presented itself, so we pulled the trigger on it.
What was your thought on the call?
You know, listen, the call's irrelevant. We just didn't make enough plays in the game. That one would have been a play that great if it goes our way, but it didn't. So you move on from that.
That new rule seemed to come into play there. How do you prep for that?
What new rule?
You have to give him enough chance to catch the ball.
Oh yeah, that one. I thought you were talking about the fair catch rule. Yeah, he didn't fair catch. Yeah, you know, they ended up calling offsides and then that too. So that's how they saw it.
Jordan, a lot of people tuned into this game with Heisman talk, looking at you. How do you think you play compared to how you can play?
Yeah, you know, I never turned the ball over. I think I had 6 turnovers on the year going into this game. 2 turnovers, you know, it's unacceptable. You know, I expect a lot on myself, and you know, I didn't live up to my expectations.
Coach Carey talked about moving on. Just, you know, how difficult do you think that'll be, Jordan?
I'm sorry.
Just how did Coach Carey talked about just kind of needing to take this one, maybe like breathe about it and then move on. Just, you know, how difficult do you think that'll be, given, you know, you guys don't experience it?
Right, it's a tough one to swallow. You know, we're going to give it a few days. And, you know, we got finals next week, so, you know, we'll kind of get a lot of time off. But we got great senior leadership on this team, and, you know, we're going to bounce right back and, you know, play our butts off in a bowl game.
Jimmy, you're a leader on the defense. What do you do to help your unit that struggled tonight move forward to the bowl game?
You know, basically, you know, I just told the defense keep their composure, you know, try to lift their heads up when they was down And, you know, I try to do the best I can do, you know, what all I can do, and basically take one play at a time.
Any further questions for our Huskies? Thank you, gentlemen.